Dubai police have once again solved yet another case involving an international online scammer known as Raymond Abbas, but who goes by Hushpuppi on social media platforms. It was 2019 in Dubai. Hushpuppi just got a text message telling him about the next target, a bank in Malta. This message was sent by one of his close associates, Galeb Alumari, a Canadian who is known by his nickname Big Boss. He just got a deal that has some connections to the government of North Korea. Alumari told Hushpuppi that he needed 2 bank accounts that can receive 5 million euros each. The accounts must be from any country in Europe that will be able to receive the millions without troubles. The money is expected to arrive into the accounts on February 12th. Hushpuppi had only one job here: to provide the drop account. When the money gets into the account, he will take his percentage and set the balance to Alumari, the big boss. Few days later, Hushpuppi was able to provide a Romanian bank account that can handle any large amount. He was still searching for a second bank account, not just any account, but an account that can accommodate millions. It was going to be a big drop. The bank which they were about to hack is the Bank of Valletta PLC in Malta. This is not the first time this bank would be hacked. It was hacked some months ago, but this time it was going to be a hit. The target was to take away $14.7 million from the bank. Hushpuppi and Big Boss are working as loaders in this plan. While the hackers hack into the bank and keep sending out money, their role is to move the money as quickly as possible. Big Boss had earlier told Hushpuppi on how urgent the job needs to be done.
My associates want you to clear as soon as it hits. If they don't notice, we keep pumping.
This is not the only job they are going to work together on. They would also work on another project to hack an English Premier League club and take out 100 million euros, another 200 million euros job in Scotland, and as well work together on another smaller project to take out $922 million from a law firm in the United States. All these will be discussed in details in this video, including the $809 million scam on a businessman in Qatar. If this is the type of story you would like to listen to, please do well to subscribe. Remember, Hushpuppi had only provided one account out of the 2 accounts Big Boss earlier demanded. By February 1st, 2019, Big Boss messaged Hushpuppi once again. Instead of the 2 bank accounts he asked for, he now needs 4 bank accounts from Hushpuppi's account that can accommodate millions of euros. On February 9th, 2019, 3 days before the big day, while getting ready for the job, in his usual way of motivating his 2.5 million Instagram followers, Hushpuppi posted a picture of himself in his Dubai apartment. Next day, Big Boss asked him one more time to deliver another account. Brother, tonight is the deadline to submit anything more. Do you want to add one more or just stick to the one that you gave me? Few moments later, Hushpuppi sent the details of a second account, a bank account in Bulgaria. This was happening on February 10th. By February 12th, the day everybody has all been waiting for, Big Boss reached out to Hushpuppi to inform him that one of the transfers had gone through, 500,000 euros to the Romanian account. Brother, wire is completed. We did it. And they didn't realize. We're going to shoot again tomorrow AM. But by the next morning, the bank had discovered what was happening. The hackers had moved 13 million euros out of the bank, which was about $14.7 million as at that time. In order to stop any further wire transfers, they quickly shut down their electronic system and began to contact the banks where the money had gone to. Today, they noticed and pressed a recall on it. It might show and block or never show again, Big Boss informed Hushpuppi. He then sent a screenshot to Hushpuppi. Look, it hit the news. But that didn't stop their work. When one door closes, another opens. Next one is in a few weeks. We'll let you know when it's ready, Big Boss sent to Hushpuppi. Too bad they caught on. It would have been a nice payout. Obviously, it would have been a nice payout, but Hushpuppi did not allow that disappointment to affect his social media vibe. By the next day, 14th February, he posted a picture of himself in a nice friendly jumpsuit with a spotless black car beside him. Bought myself a new Bentley Tega for Valentine's, the best way to celebrate the season of love. By April 2019, Big Boss returned with a big job offer, 300 million pounds in total. This time, the money will be coming from the United Kingdom, 100 million euros from the English Premier League club. What was not clear was which club the money would be coming from. The investigators suspected that the money was the reported 100 million euros Real Madrid paid to Chelsea for Eden Hazard's transfer in 2019, or maybe one of the payments Tottenham Hotspur made that year for their new stadium. The total amount Tottenham was to pay for the stadium was about 850 million euros, which would be paid in installments. It was suspected that the same hackers, who according to the police reports are from North Korea, had targeted to hijack one of those payments, estimated at about 100 million euros. But whichever club the money is coming from, it was going to be a big payout. Big Boss then requested for account details. Once again, Hushpuppi immediately provided a Mexican account number. According to court documents, he notified him that the account would only handle millions and not block. It was a total of 300 million pounds expected to drop into the accounts, 100 million pounds from an English Premier League club and 200 million pounds from a company in Scotland. But as Big Boss sent out the account details, it took a long time for the money to drop. He later discovered that the UK banks were refusing to pay into their accounts. The different banks that were expected to initiate the transfers had suspected the Mexican accounts and went further to verify if the bank details were coming from the club or from the company. Once again, the plan has been discovered. This was another unfortunate disappointment, but a good deal was on its way. By October of that same 2019, precisely October 15th, a Chaseback account controlled by Hushpuppi in the United States received a wire transfer of $922,857 sent by a law firm in New York. The money was sent to be a payment. The law firm wanted to pay back one of his clients. The client had helped the firm to finance a real estate business, and it was time for the law firm to pay back. So when the law firm emailed the client to confirm where the wire transfer should be sent to, they received a fax telling them to direct the payment to Chase Bank. The person in charge of the payment at the law firm was surprised that the account details was different from the client's details. She immediately called a phone number on the fax, and to confirm the details, the person who picked the call authorized her to go ahead. She then initiated the transfer. What she didn't know was the fax was sent by Hushpuppi and his group, not their client. The phone number she called also belonged to the group. Immediately, the money dropped in the Chase account. Out of $922,857, Hushpuppi transferred $396 million to Big Boss. The money was sent into Big Boss Imperial Bank of Commerce account in Canada. The rest of the money, he moved them to different bank accounts. By October 17th, in order to confirm if Big Boss has received his own share of the money, Hushpuppi sent a screenshot of $396,000 transfer to Big Boss. But by then, Big Boss had already left Canada and was on his way to US. Big Boss immediately messaged someone in Canada to check if the money had dropped. He confirmed the transfer. Big Boss promised to send the screenshots when he gets to the US. He was on a plane that had just landed, and he will send the screenshot immediately he gets a good internet signal. But the problem is he never sent the screenshot. Few minutes after he arrived in the United States, the FBI approached him at the airport and placed him under arrest. Hushpuppi kept waiting for his reply, but as he never heard from him, he moved on with his life. 2 months later, by December 2019, this time he teamed up with another group in Kenya. With this group, they are about to carry out a new project. They had discovered a businessman in Qatar who is looking for a loan of $15 million to build a school. Hushpuppi and his new group went into action and offered to help him get the loan, but they appeared as New York-based bankers. First of all, to initiate the loan process, they convinced the man to pay $330 to be used to create an investor's account for the loan. They directed him to pay the money into installments in the accounts they would provide. He made the first deposit of $100 to a bank account controlled by one of the members of the group, and the second deposit of $230 to another account belonging to a man who sells luxury watches. Hushpuppi used the second deposit to purchase a watch, a $150 Richard Mille RM1103. While still working on investors' accounts in January and February 2020, Hushpuppi reached out to the Qatar businessman, advising him to make a payment of $575 for tax settlement before the $50 million loan would be released. By February 2020, the businessman sent part of the money, about $299,983, to different bank accounts in Kenya, which were controlled by some members of the group. In March 2020, they asked him to make further deposits. He then sent another $180 to a US bank account. He has successfully made a deposit of $479,983, remaining some balance. The loan will be disbursed immediately he completes the tax settlement. But as both parties were waiting for the final payment, on the midnight of Monday, June 8, 2020, with some boys in his apartment watching the news, while Hushpuppi was sleeping upstairs, suddenly the door of the apartment was burst open. The Dubai police SWAT team had come looking for Hushpuppi. They linked up with the FBI to get hold of him. They arrested about 12 suspects in connection to different crimes, and a total of 47 phones, 21 laptops, 6.8 million worth of cars, and 41 million cash was taken from the suspect. After a few days at the police headquarters in Dubai, they were flown to the US, where Big Boss was also facing trial. Big Boss was charged separately and he admitted to his crimes. He was given an 11 years and 8 months federal prison sentence and was ordered to pay more than 30 million in restitution. He was ordered to pay $922,857,000 in restitution. Hushpuppi also admitted to have engaged in the crimes against him to the law firm in New York, and $809,983,000 to the businessman in Qatar. He was also handed 11 years prison sentence. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe for more.